Today we'll have a look at this pen. It comes in this sort of monolith-like pen holder. It's not really a pouch because it's solid. But this is a very much anticipated pen because this is the Lamy LX. And it came with this tiny little information sheet which actually holds quite some information. So I'm going to read it to you in its entirety because it's only 2 sentences, I think, 3. The colors, you have the yellow gold, rose gold, and then you have something, what we call that, some grey and something else. Let's read this. The Lamy LX is a stylish, modern writing instrument with that something special. A functional and elegant companion made of aluminium. It says aluminium because if I say aluminum, then people say it's aluminium, and if I say aluminium, people say it's aluminum. It says so. Okay, I'm just reading what it says. Bear with me. Made of aluminium, it features stylish details refined with precious metal and a sophisticated anodized finish, with distinct spring-loaded and refined metal clip and transparent grip. Glossy black steel nib, PVD coating. Okay, this pen was very kindly sent to me by La Couronne de Compte, and I really appreciate it because I know stocks are low to begin with. It's a very popular model, so I really appreciate it. I want to review this because I know that a lot of people are really looking forward to this. There is the Lamy Safari, then there is the aluminium version called the Lamy All-Star, and then there is the Lamy LX. And the Lamy LX is a bit more expensive, but it's also supposed to be a bit more luxurious. Alright, so hence this pen case. That's what I'm going to call it. I can come up with a name. Metal. Cool. I like it. It has a little soft thing there in there. Yeah, it's sort of a foam rubber-like thing. Probably can't see it. It doesn't really matter. You get this with the pen. It matches the color of the pen, so I think that's kind of neat. We have this that sort of yellow gold version here. I come back to that, of course. I really found this an interesting sensation with the rubber sort of fin-like things in there. It holds the pen in place. It slips in there, and you have a way to carry a pen. How many people actually carry the pen around in this, I don't know, but I can see how if you are a collector, and the Safari, All-Star, etc. are very collectible pens, this is a cool way to protect it and to display it. So, although I would not carry the pen around in this, I'm sure there are people who would. And I do think it's interesting that Lamy provides this, especially given the fact that what's a Safari? 25 euros and this is 55. So I see there's, something going on there. The pen. Let's cover the pen. Then I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Now we'll do a writing sample. Top of the pen has this finial. Now this is where things already start to get a bit more luxurious, because next to each other here you have a Safari finial, an All-Star finial, and this LX finial. And you can see it's just more luxurious. It's that simple. Okay, then we have the cap, we have the clip. The clip is of course unique to this the Safari All-Star type models. This one's still stickered, but you see that it matches the color of the pen. That's not always the case. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but here they chose to do that. We have the barrel with Lamy on it, and at the end it's also, grabbing the other ones again, oh, that's barely all together. You see there's a bit of a difference there. It's just more luxurious, and it feels more luxurious. I wanted to show you that spring-loaded. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would really call it spring-loaded. Visconti clip is spring-loaded. There are some other pen manufacturers who do spring-loaded, like Conklin. Well, that's kind of dubious, but I mean there are manufacturers who do spring-loaded clips. I don't really call it spring-loaded. This is just springy. The cap pops off. Then we have the section. Nice thing about the section is it is transparent, which makes for a cool look. I like this. It's neat to be able to see the feed, and of course there is that black nib, which has some, I wouldn't call it gold colored, but white, goldish, yellowish highlights. In this case it's a medium nib. It says M and Lamy, and it has a little line around the nib slit, which I think looks cool. I don't know if the camera picks it up. If it doesn't, check out the pictures on my website. There's an ink window, which in this case there's a converter in the pen, and it's neat that you can see at all times how much ink you have left. Same thing with the cartridge, you can also see that. Lamy converter, one of the two they make, and simple, nice works. Pen. In hand, on the larger side, I find this pen a little bit bulky, but not necessarily in a bad way. Posts very securely, and you have a nice, robust, reliable writer. One thing I had not yet shown, but that is worth of being shown, is this special section. I mean, I have shown that it's transparent, but of course you have these infamous facets on the section where you put your fingers. Some people really like that, some people really hate that. It's a very, very personal thing. I don't mind them so much, but I know there are people who just cannot use these pens because of that. So, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? The Safari is one of those models that you either love or hate, I think. It's a very interesting Bauhaus type design. It's very blocky, and some people absolutely love that. So I think I can see the appeal. It's very industrial looking. It's not the type of model I usually go for, but I can see how these are collectible. The camera's SD card was full, so I'm just restarting this where I left off. The Lamy Safari, and I consider the Lamy All-Star to be a similar type pen, even though it's a different material, same model. And this LX, they're very collectible. I would not be surprised if Lamy is going to bring out more finishes of this. The Safari is an incredibly collectible pen, and I understand why. It's a lot of different colors. There's quite some nib options from extra fine to broad, and there is calligraphic nibs as well, that, you know, up to I think 1.9 millimeters, which is fairly large. So you can easily switch those nibs out. Now this is supposed to be a new nib, but it really looks like a Safari nib, so I assume you can switch them out, although of course it has the line and all that on there that even the black Safari nibs do not have. Having said all that, I see the appeal of the pen, and yes, it's a bit more expensive than the Safari or All-Stars are. I think they're quite nice, so I can see why people would want to buy this, and I see the collection value. I also have to say that there are refined things in them. That finial, it does look like a higher end pen than a standard Safari would, for example, or for that matter an All-Star. I see that's there. Things I don't like about it, well, I find some of these colors to be a little bit feminine. Yes, there is also a grey, I understand that, but I mean, I do find it a bit feminine. I would like to see a more robust color. I think that this in a matte black, for example, would look very cool. Especially with the upgraded finial and all that. I think it has potential. Anything really terrible that's wrong with this? Not really. You're buying a Safari type pen, you know what it's going to be like, you know it's going to write, you know it's going to do what it's advertised to do, and that's all there's to it. So I think it's neat. La Couronne de Compte, thanks a lot for sending me one, I really appreciate it. We need to see how it writes, that's coming up next. Measurements of the pen are on the website sbrebrown.com, as well as high resolution pictures taken by the inimitable Gourmet Pens. Hope this was useful so far, and I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye. There we go with the Lamy. Oh, it's a weird X. LX. The nib is medium, and the ink is Sailor Gentle Apricot. The Lamy nibs are no joke. Quick brown box. Okay, why not? I find them fairly broad. I kind of like that, but something to bear in mind. Fast writing. Often nibs that have a coating are a bit less smooth than nibs without it. But I like how this nib performs. Flows very nicely, works well, and has a nice feeling to it. There is some feedback, and I really think that's the black covering they put on the nib, the coating. But in all, I do like it. I find it a pleasant feedback, not a scratchiness. Wetness. No complaints there. Line variation. There is some, but I wouldn't call it exceptional. Reverse writing. Possible. Pen runs a little dry and becomes a lot more scratchy. And there you have it. So, a kind thank you to La Couronne de Comte for sending this pen over for review. I appreciate it, and I'm sure that a lot of the viewers will appreciate it, because it's a hotly anticipated model. Hope this was useful, and I'd gladly see you later.